Fantastic, great. Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you, Ed, for allowing me to talk tonight. My name is Peter Thum-Bonanno, and I'm one of the founders of GetAgent. If you were expecting a talk from GetAgent, I hope you won't be too disappointed. That's a very different business. So GetAgent is the estate agent comparison site. We're based out of London, but we cover the whole of Britain. We work with over 7,000 estate agents. And up until recently, we were helping about 15,000 home sellers a month. So in my talk tonight, I'm going to explain what estate agent comparison means, how we do it, and crucially, what this has to do with Geo. And then to finish, I'll share with you the results of our analysis into how coronavirus has affected the UK property market. And I don't want to ruin the surprise, but it's had a massive impact. So even if property isn't your thing, or even if the UK isn't your thing, you should hopefully still find this interesting. So, as I mentioned, GetAgent is the estate agent comparison site. But how do you actually compare estate agents? So to many people, estate agents all look the same, they all sound the same, they come around to your house in their shiny suits, and they'll lie to your face to win your business. But in our view, estate agents are different, and some will do a better job at selling your home than others. So maybe they already have the perfect buyer on their books, or maybe they could do a better job at highlighting the benefits of an area, but we think estate agents are not all the same. We think some estate agents can sell your home for more money and faster, but until now, people didn't have the information they needed to make an informed decision. And so this is what we built. If you tell us where your property is and answer a few questions about its value and type, then we can show you the top 6 agents to sell your home and also how much they would charge. And what we're showing here is the percentage of original asking price achieved, how long it takes for the agent to achieve a sale, and how many properties they've listed around you. And I know when I say around you, it's a very loose term. And the actual distance from your property we choose depends on how densely populated the area is. So we'll choose a radius between 0.5 kilometre or 32 kilometres to get a sufficient sample size of property listings. So very rural properties will have a much larger radius, which makes sense because a rural estate agent will cover a much larger area too. So we get all this property listing data from the 3 main portals in the UK, which is Zoopla, Rightmove, and On the Market. We're then able to match these property listings with actual price paid data from the land registry, which is where all property sales in England and Wales are registered. So this gives us a really good visibility of the full sale from when the property was first listed, tracking all the price reductions, and then how much the property actually eventually sold for. So once a home seller compares agents and chooses one to list their property with, we can then help them monitor how their sale is progressing. And this is particularly useful now at a time of such uncertainty when a lot of transactions have kind of come to a screeching halt. So their agent will be endlessly optimistic since they don't want to lose the home seller, but we can use our property data to give a more balanced perspective. So this is the tool we built, which we call the listing monitor. And based on how your property listing is going, we can predict when you could expect to be moving home. And this is based on how long it takes on average for properties to go under offer, and then for all the legal work to be continued, which often takes 3 or 4 months more after you go under offer. We could also show you whether similar nearby listings have changed their asking price by this point in the transaction, and what proportion have been sold. So this will help you decide whether you should be changing your asking price at this point if you've not got much interest, or whether you just need to be patient. And we can also show you how much interest your listing is getting online. So this is done by comparing how many views your listing has got with comparable listings. So if you're getting less than others, you should maybe change the picture or the price, or ask your agent to get a premium listing. And so this dashboard is all about enabling the home seller to diagnose how their sale is going and to have a bit more confidence in their move. So that's how we can help guide you if you're already on the market. But if you're interested in an objective overview of the UK property market, perhaps you're a home seller or a homeowner, or God forbid, an estate agent, there isn't really anywhere to look that has a clear overview. And so different companies were releasing snippets of their own internal data, which was often kind of spun to benefit them in some way. And there wasn't really one centralized source of truth. And so this is what we set out to launch. And we launched it, this interactive data dashboard at the end of March, and it pulls together data from the main property portals in the UK, from Google, and also our own internal numbers. And so I'll run you through some of the interesting charts on a national level, but please do check out the online version afterwards, where you can filter by the area you live in and see very, very local trends. So this is just kind of a top level snapshot so that people don't fall asleep. So running you through some of the key charts, you can see the number of listings added per week has dropped hugely. The market has basically ground to a halt. I think it's borderline illegal at this point to get a valuation from an estate agent to conduct viewings. So there really are very few listings. I mean, I've never seen such a sharp decline, even referring back to the last financial crisis. So this is huge, down 83% within 5 weeks. One upside of there being very few new listings being added is the few ones that are getting all the attention. So this chart shows the number of online views a listing gets in its first 3 days. And as you can see, this has actually been increasing slowly over the last few weeks. And I mean, anecdotally, this makes sense to me. I used to receive several property updates a week from Rightmove, whereas now I get one every several weeks. And so for sure, I'm clicking through to see the listing, but it's primarily to see who's crazy enough to list their property in the middle of a global pandemic. And we're also using Google Trends to measure buyer and seller intent, which gives a great leading indicator of the market research. So this is keeping track of the search volumes for people searching on seller keywords and people searching on buyer keywords. And so the logic is people will be searching for an estate agent a few weeks before they instruct them and their listing goes live. And again, it's reassuring to see a gentle upward trend. And then finally, we have our own GetAgent index, which is showing how many home sellers we're helping each week. Again, we're starting to see some slight recovery, but business is still down about 85% from the end of February, which is somewhat concerning. And then also at the bottom of the dashboard, which I won't run through now, but please check out online. At the bottom of the dashboard, we've got the results of our estate agent and home seller sentiment surveys, which is all about asking people how they feel the market is going, how they think it will progress in the future. So please do check that out online. And so that's the end of my presentation today. Thank you everyone for listening. Please do check out the dashboard online. And I'd also be really grateful if you find it interesting, if you could share it around your network, that'd be fantastic. So it's getagent.co.uk/corona-housing-market, which is definitely not SEO optimized. And if you think what we're doing is interesting and you'd like to come join us, please do drop me an email, which you see there, peter@getagent.co.uk. We're hiring all across product and tech, so please don't be shy. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Hi,